Hi friends, it's Teacher Adrian. I hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to share one of my favorite stories with you. It's called Fish is Fish by Leo Lionni. It's a story about a fish who meets another, what he thought was a fish, but turns into a frog. And then the fish decides he really just wants to be something different than a fish. And it's a little bit about dreaming about different things that we want to be in life, but also realizing who we are as a person and why it's important to stay who we are. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this story, and following the story, I have an activity to share with you where you can make your own fish into whatever you imagine it to be. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the book. Fish is Fish by Leo Lionni. At the edge of the woods, there was a pond, and there a minnow and a tadpole swam among the weeds. They were inseparable friends. One morning, the tadpole discovered that during the night he had grown 2 legs. "Look," he said triumphantly. "Look, I'm a frog." "Nonsense," said the minnow. "How could you be a frog if only last night you were a little fish just like me?" They argued and argued until finally the tadpole said, "Frogs are frogs and fish is fish, and that's that." In the weeks that followed, the tadpole grew tiny front legs, and his tail got smaller and smaller. And then one fine day, a real frog now, he climbed out of the water and onto the grassy bank. The minnow, too, had grown and become a full-fledged fish. He often wondered where his 4-footed friend had gone. But days and weeks went by, and the frog did not return. Then one day, with a happy splash that shook the weeds, the frog jumped into the pond. "Where have you been?" asked the fish excitedly. "I have been about the world, hopping here and there," said the frog, "and I have seen extraordinary things." "Like what?" asked the fish. "Birds," said the frog mysteriously. "Birds!" And he told the fish about the birds, who had wings and 2 legs and many colors. As Frog talked, his friend saw the birds flying through his mind like large feathered fish. "What else?" asked the fish impatiently. "Cows," said the frog. "Cows! They have 4 legs, horns, eat grass, and carry pink bags of milk." "And people," said the frog. "Men, women, children." And he talked and talked until it was dark in the pond. But the picture in the fish's mind was full of lights and colors and marvelous things, and he could not sleep. Ah, if he could only jump about like his friend and see that wonderful world. And so the days went by. The frog had gone, and the fish just lay there, dreaming about birds in flight, grazing cows, and those strange animals all dressed up that his friend called people. One day he finally decided that come what may, he too must see them. And so with a mighty whack of the tail, he jumped clear out of the water and onto the bank. He landed in the dry, warm grass, and there he lay, gasping for air, unable to breathe or move. "Help," he groaned feebly. Luckily, the frog, who had been hunting butterflies nearby, saw him, and with all his strength pushed him back into the pond. Still stunned, the fish floated about for a minute. Then he breathed deeply, letting the cool, clean water run through his gills. Now he felt weightless again, and with an ever so slight motion of his tail, he could move to and fro, up and down, just as before. The sun rays reached down within the weeds and gently shifted patches of luminous color. This world was surely the most beautiful of all the worlds. He smiled at his friend, the frog, who sat watching him from a lily leaf. "You were right," he said. "Fish is fish." The end. I hope you enjoyed that story as much as I did. What I really love about this story is that Fish's friend Frog tells him about all these amazing things that are in the world. And Fish dreams of being those amazing things. Remember, he dreamt of being a bird, and he dreamt about being a cow, and he dreamt about being people. But in the end, he learned that just being himself is what was important in this world. And I hope you remember that just being you is super important too. I am so excited to share with you the activity that we're going to do today. So it's time for you to put your thinking cap on. Do you have it on? Are you ready? Okay, I need you to think about, if your fish could be anything in the world, what would your fish be? What would it be? I have an idea of what my fish would be. And so I'm going to create a fish being something other than a fish, and then I'll show it to you. Are you ready to get started on this activity? For this activity, you're going to need a few things. First of all, think about what you want your fish to be, other than a fish. And then you'll need the fish cutout that I sent to you in the mail. Maybe you might need some construction paper, or maybe you need pom-poms, or maybe you need pipe cleaners. I don't know, use whatever you have at your house. I'm going to use construction paper for my fish. You might need some scissors and some glue and some crayons, markers, dot markers, whatever you have available at your house. I started by giving my fish a pink nose and a green eye. And then I gave my fish a pointy ear and a long black tail. Next, I colored my fish using black, gray, and orange. I did stripes, and I added some whiskers. Do you think you know what my fish is? Lastly, I added some feet. Can you guess what my fish is? Meow, meow, meow. That was a lot of fun creating my fish into something else. Did you guess that mine was a cat? Yep, it was. Meow, meow. I can't wait to see what you create with your fish. And make sure when you're done to send me a picture. See you soon. Bye.